Welcome everyone to TMoLR Texas. It is Sunday as of this recording, the 28th of January. I hope everyone, well, you'll see this on Wednesday, but I hope everyone had a great weekend and the first part of your week has just gone by fantastically. Is that even a word? I don't know. Maybe I just made it up. Anyway, the first part of this week, starting on the 24th, I believe, Southeast Texas received quite a bit of rain over a three and a half day period. Now, some places did receive up to 9 inches of rain. I think the biggest rain total I saw was nine plus inches in the Columbus, Texas area. I've seen anywhere 6 inches right there at East Columbia, basically at Bell's Landing. Other places got 4 inches, 3 inches. I think the lowest one that I saw was a quarter of an inch, and that was, I want to say that was on the southernmost side of the storm track, so they didn't get a whole lot of rain. But a lot of the local rivers have been dealing with flooding issues. So the Trinity River and the East Fork of the San Jacinto River seem to have gotten the worst of it. There was actually a request for voluntary evacuation along the Trinity River. Same could be said for the East Fork of the San Jacinto River. Now, I focus primarily on the Brazos and the San Bernard rivers, mostly because they're the rivers I'm most familiar with, and of course the Brazos being the river that just means the world to me. And I have been giving those two rivers focus for a couple of different reasons, but with the San Bernard, the reason I've given it so much attention is because of the really unhealthy shape that the river is in. And what I was able to do over the past day and a half was go and get some footage of both the Brazos and the San Bernard and kind of show you what effect the amount of rainfall, the flooding that goes along with it. And what I'll do is I'm probably going to do like a before and after shot of each of the places that I go to other than Rocheron. The Brazos at Rocheron, that was my first visit there. But if I do have comparable footage of the river prior to this, that will be part of the video. So we're going to start at Farm Market Road 442. This is for Saturday. I went to Farm Market 442, went to, I think it's 1459 going toward Rocheron. That's the Brazos River there. Double back, went to the San Bernard River at 1301. After seeing that, I had to go to Hanson Park, did a quick little video there at Hanson Park, and then finished up at Farm Market Road 522. They're basically at the very edge of Wild Peach, getting ready to go into the town of Sweeney. And then this morning, I got some footage of the Brazos at Farm Market Road 2004, the San Bernard at Farm Market 2611, and on the way back to home base, I went ahead and stopped at 1301 again just to see if there was a difference in the water levels over that 24-hour period. And I'll just let the videos speak for themselves. So here we go. First stop, just outside of Bowling on Farm Market Road 442. We are here at the San Bernard River along County Road 442, about halfway between Needville, and Bowling. And the last time we were here, which was a few weeks ago, you couldn't even see the river. And here we got quite a bit of rain. Some places in southeast Texas, south central Texas, got 9+ inches of rain. And with the San Bernard being as unhealthy as it is, until you get maybe to West Columbia, it's no surprise that it doesn't take a whole lot of rain for the San Bernard to swell, start to come out of its banks, and look pretty bad. So, and again, last time we were here, you really couldn't even see the water. So I'm going to turn the camera around here and just show you where the San Bernard is after all of this rain. We did get a little bit of rain yesterday as well. Nowhere near, maybe it may be a 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch maybe. But with all the rain, it has had a big effect on the San Bernard here at the Wharton-Fort Bend County line. So you can see that, especially compared to last time, there is a drastic change, and you can see that the water is moving quite rapidly here. And I'll put up video of our previous visit here, and I'm going to try to get to where maybe you can see the other end down here. This river is moving. It is swollen severely, and I've said it before, kind of half joking, that if you spit in the San Bernard River near Bowling, it will flood. But that's unfortunately more true than not. So that's the San Bernard River here. We're going to hit a couple other places. We're also going to go look at the Brazos near Brazos Bend State Park. They're just outside of Damon, on the way to Rocheron, and we're going to hit 1301. They're just outside of West Columbia as well. And then finally we're going to wind up over at Farm Market Road 522 near Sweeney. So let's go ahead and get over towards Damon. We'll see you here in just a little bit. All right, now we are along FM 1462, maybe 5 to 7 miles west of Rocheron, Texas, and we've got the Brazos going right here. Now, over the past couple of days, there's been a couple of flood warnings for the Brazos River at this point. I believe, if I remember correctly, it is supposed to crest tomorrow, that being Sunday. And when I turn the camera around, you're really going to be able to see how badly the Brazos is swollen here. And hopefully you'll be able to see just how quickly the current is moving. Now, this area right here is normally doesn't have any water on it, and the Brazos at this point has yet to crest, so it's going to get even higher at this point. And unfortunately, I don't have any footage of the Brazos from past episodes at this point, but you can really tell that there's quite a bit of debris in the Brazos. It's moving rather quickly, and let me get over. You can actually see the water going up against the staunches there, and it's creating quite a bit of wake. Caney Creek, which is just a little bit more east of here is somewhat swollen. It's not real bad. It's been a long time since I've seen Caney Creek be that high. But I'm going to walk right over here, and I'm going to assume that this is part of the floodplain for the Brazos in this area. And I found this to be a bit surprising. And again, I could be wrong. This could actually be the Brazos, although I doubt it very seriously. And it is very soggy over here. But that thing is full, and I believe that is a little bit of like a spillover from the Brazos here, and you can see the current's not quite moving as quickly as it is over there at the Brazos. But I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit taller so you can actually see the significance of the flooding here. And I'm quite surprised. You know, one more look from a distance at how the Brazos is moving here at 1462. All right, so now we're gonna head over back toward the San Bernard at 1301, just outside of West Columbia, and we'll see how bad it is over there. And the good thing is we've got footage of the San Bernard there at 1301. But we're gonna take the scenic route. We're gonna go down to 521, hit 35, and go that way. So it's gonna be a few minutes before we get to the San Bernard, but we'll see you here in just a little bit. We are now at Farm Market Road 1301 and the San Bernard River crossing here. Now, the last time I was here, we could go way further down. And I believe at this point, the normal running depth of the San Bernard River is about 1 to 3 feet. Right now it's something completely different, and I'm standing on a massive incline here. I'm trying not to lose my footing. But this is what I would think that the San Bernard should more or less look like at this point, and we're nowhere near that on a regular basis. But here's what the San Bernard looks like right now at 1301. And the river is moving. It's moving quite well. And I believe this is already crested here, from what I understand. And I will double check National Weather Service with their forecast on here. But we are nowhere near as close as we were the last time we visited the San Bernard at this spot. And if you notice, there's some debris right there at the base of the bridge, and I'm going to assume that that debris was maybe from Harvey or something along those lines, some type of flood there where it was actually right at the top there. But you can see that there is a drastic change in the river, the depth of the river and how it's running with all of this rain. So what I'm going to do now is, I really hadn't planned on stopping at Hanson Park, but that's exactly what we're going to do. I want to see what the river looks like there at Hanson Park, because there's such a big disparity between the San Bernard here and the San Bernard at Hanson Park. And then we'll finally get over to 522 there close to Sweeney and see what the river looks like there. So we'll see you here in just a little bit. We are now at Hanson Park, and I really didn't plan on coming here, but after I saw what was happening with the San Bernard at Farm Market Road 442 and also at 1301, I think it would be ill-advised not to at least come to Hanson Park and at least look and see what it looks like over here. And not surprised, there is quite a bit of difference from the last time we were here. So I'll let you be the judge on that. And again, please go back and reference the San Bernard River episode so you can kind of see the difference in how the water is moving, the depth of the water, things of that nature. So let's go ahead and look at the San Bernard here at Hanson Park. It is quite a bit. That's an understatement. It's a lot higher than it is on a normal basis here. Now again, and I did mention this earlier, that the difference in water levels of this particular river from this point to about 5 miles down the road, 5 to 6 miles down the road at 1301 is drastic. And right now, somewhat comparable. Now you'll notice too, over at 1301, there's a lot more brush, there's a lot more trees and things of that nature in the path of the river there than there is here. This is a much wider and I guess more cleaner area of the San Bernard. But you can see that the current, she's moving pretty doggone good. And from where I'm standing, there's maybe 3 feet to where it would reach the top of the bank here. So there's a lot of water that has come down here over the past week into the San Bernard. And our last stop on this episode will be at Farm Market Road 522, just on the edge of Wild Peach, real close to Sweeney, just off of 1459. And we'll see you here in just a little bit. Alright, as you can tell by the sign behind me, we are here at the San Bernard River once again, and we're here off of Farm Market Road 522, and here's our river. She's moving. It's quite a bit of a change from the first time that we came here. not surprising that the river is this high here, just at the edge, the very edge of Wild Peach, and we're maybe 3 miles outside of Sweeney. And come a little bit closer to the road, you can see that there is a house right there. Luckily the land is built up pretty good right there, but if I remember correctly, during Harvey, all of this was very much flooded. So this is, I would say, in no way a historic flood, but it is part of history, and that's part of the reason I felt that I had to cover this on the program here. So we're gonna wrap up today this last shot of the San Bernard. I'll get some more information, do some more filming tomorrow, which is Sunday. Go to check out the Brazos at a couple different places, maybe even the San Bernard, and there'll be probably a part 2. Hopefully I'll release both of those on the same day. But I'm going to throw it back to, we're going to call it the studio, even though it's not really a studio. We're going to throw it back to the studio, and I'm going to have some more input on what we've seen today. So we'll see you here in the studio here in just a second. So as you can see, I am back in the studio, and I do have a couple of things that I do feel need to be said again. Some of these things I did mention in the first San Bernard River video, especially when it came to that northwestern aspect, as the river does take more of a northwest to southeast type of trajectory or path, that the river in the more northern tier aspects of it is really fed by a spring, and that spring of course has not been putting out as much water as it has in the past. The San Bernard, even though it does not get as much press or credit, or people really don't look at the San Bernard other than, hey, it's a great place to go fishing. The San Bernard is a historic river. It does have a lot of history, and you can see on the very top of the book stack here, there's a book called The Sea of Mud, and that details the retreat of General Urrea and General Filisola after the Battle of San Jacinto, and how they had to abandon a lot of their materials and a lot of their equipment to just get away, and that a lot of that material and those artifacts have been found right there at the San Bernard River. So there is a lot of historical significance to the San Bernard. And I also stated, I believe it was in the second San Bernard River episode, that the drastic change in the San Bernard River between there at Hanson Park and 1301 is I haven't had a chance to get in a boat and actually go down river or up river and see what the actual what the cause of it is. But I did make the statement that possibly Phillips has something to do with the fact that will be generous here, that lower 1/3, it's probably less than that, but the lower 1/3 of the San Bernard is nice and wide, fairly deep for the barges to come through to the Sweeney barge terminal there. If that's the case, and we're basically sacrificing the other 2/3 of the river, there's something very much wrong with that. Now, I do not have concrete evidence that says that that's the case, but regardless, we need to do something. I say we, the people, the counties involved that have the San Bernard run through it. That's going to be Brazoria, Fort Bend, Wharton, and of course Austin counties. I believe that those local community and county governments really need to step up and take a look at the river. I would also say that the state needs to look at it as well. I'm going to try to reach out to the Friends of the San Bernard organization and see if they've got any input on this, if they have any kind of idea of what's going on, if they're even aware, which I'm sure they are, but I want answers is basically what I'm getting to. So, but we're going to go back out into the field and go look at the Brazos River at a couple of different spots, and then we'll also hit the San Bernard there at 2611. So go ahead and view those for me, and then we'll be back to close out the episode. Good morning. It is Sunday, the 28th of January, and we are here at the Brazos River, just outside of Brazoria on County Road 849. And we visited this area before, but I wanted to make sure that you got an idea of what the flooding had been down here in Brazoria County when it came to the rains and everything like that. So we're in western Brazoria County. We're going to be headed over to the bridge at 2004 for the Brazos River, and then finally today we'll go to 2611 for the San Bernard River, which is just about 6 miles away from the Brazos, and look at it over there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Brazos over here. And the last time we were here, the water didn't even come close to where this ramp is. And you can see over here that where I was standing the last time is completely underwater. And the Brazos is moving pretty quickly here. You can see a little bit of debris there in the water, and it's not quite. You probably got another 6 feet on the far side bank over there before it comes out of its banks. But from what I've seen, this side is a little bit lower. So there are houses just up the road, so if there is significant flooding, even more significant flooding there along the Brazos, a lot of these houses could be in danger of water damage or anything like that. So that's the Brazos over here. Can't get a whole lot closer to it, but we're gonna try over here, get as close as I can to the water's edge. Now the bad thing is there was a lot of trash and debris in this area, so chances are that that's gone unfortunately downriver, and will more than likely eventually end up in the Gulf or something along those lines, but which is a shame. But I'm gonna pan over here. Hopefully you can see that the Brazos River is significantly swollen. All right, so there's the Brazos at Brazoria, and now we're going to head over to 2004, which is just probably about 4 miles down the road, to see what it looks like over there. and then we'll go to 2611. So we'll see you here in just a little bit. We're now underneath the bridge at Farm Market Road 2004, just outside of Lake Jackson here at the Brazos River. And you may be able to tell just over my shoulder there that the Brazos is moving pretty good here. And the last time we were here, river definitely was not this high up and was not as turbulent as you can see it is now. And again, I would venture to say you probably got maybe another 6 feet in certain spots, except maybe right over here. My finger's at, there you go, right over there where you can see a little bit of a dip in the bank. But it is significantly higher. Water's actually over there, kind of going into, I guess, what you would call the floodplain of the Brazos. Excuse me. But we're maybe 4 miles from the point there off of County Road 849. It is a little bit chilly out this morning. We got a nice north wind coming, but see that the Brazos is awfully muddy, awfully brown, kind of looks like chocolate milk. But it is moving at a considerable pace, and I believe the Brazos is supposed to crest sometime today and then fall below any type of flood stage come Wednesday. So should be at the worst of it now, and then slowly go back down to normal levels. But there is supposed to be some more rain this weekend. They're calling for some more heavy rain, so we might be in a bit of the same situation that we find ourselves in now. So if you're watching in the Brazoria County, Fort Bend, Wharton, any counties that these rivers go through here in southeast Texas, just keep your eyes open, be safe. And now we're going to head on over to 2611 and get our final shot for this video, and head back and do some editing and all that great stuff. So we'll see you here in just a little bit. All right, now we are here at 2611. Kind of give you an idea of the bridge here. This is in an area that is known as Churchill, and looks like the San Bernard has already started to recede a little bit here. Let me show you the ground and the river a little bit. You can definitely tell where the water was at here. And there are quite a few fishermen out today, even though I believe the water would probably be a little bit too sweet for many of the fish that are normally in the San Bernard here. They've probably gone out towards closer to the mouth, a little less fresh water in making it too sweet, so to speak. So, but you can tell here there's quite a few houses here along the San Bernard, and they are built up. And being here kind of makes me curious to see what 1301 looks like there, if it's gone down any at all. So we may make a stop there at 1301 just to get a quick view of where the river is and compare it to what I saw yesterday morning, so about this time. So there's the San Bernard at Churchill, 2611. And Yeah, I think we're going to stop at 1301 real quick and just make sure, or see what the difference is in about a 24-hour period. So we'll see you at 1301. We are back here at 1301 at the San Bernard River, and it doesn't really look like there's been a whole lot of change from yesterday about this time. So we'll just take a quick look at that. If the water level has gone down, it's been fairly minuscule, if that. It does not look like the river is running quite as quickly as it was yesterday. You can kind of see over between the supports of the bridge above us, right over there. It's not as high, and you can see where the water levels where it's still kind of wet on the supports. It's gone down maybe a couple of inches. That's about it. But the flooding is still occurring here, and hopefully we'll be back down to at least somewhat normal levels, even though that's pretty unhealthy for the San Bernard. As I said yesterday, normally runs about 1 to 3 inches here on a normal day, and that's pretty much gonna wrap up the video here. We're gonna send it back to the studio. Send it back to the studio, and I've got some final thoughts and things like that I'm going to share with you here in just a moment. So I hope you enjoyed it and learned a little bit, and we'll talk to you real soon. I want to thank everyone for taking time to watch these videos. I know they're not the most exciting things in the world, especially when we're talking about history. A lot of people look at history as being fairly boring and just not worth your time. But I guarantee you 100% that history is definitely worth your time. This video really doesn't go into any kind of historical significance or anything like that, and this is by no means a historical type flood. But the fact that both the Brazos and the San Bernard River are so historically significant, I want both rivers to be healthy and to thrive and be a place for people to go and see the amazing history that happened along these two important rivers in Texas history. So that's why I've spent so much time on these two rivers. Now, I will put a pause on this just for a little while and get back to looking at other things, Texas history. But this is just an event that happened, and this really wasn't on the schedule to do for this video, but things happen. We got to react, and this is how I reacted. I wanted everyone to know what was going on with the flooding there in both Wharton, Fort Bend, and Brazoria counties with these two rivers. So that's the reason that I went ahead and did these videos. Next week, I will be back in Brazoria. On Saturday, I will be attending a community meeting at the Brazoria Library. I believe that's from 2 to 3:30. I believe here, let me just make sure my time. Yeah, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. there at the Brazoria Branch Library. I'll be there. It's a chance for us to talk about things that are concerns to us in the local community. I will be bringing up the Bernard River and also the growth of the town of Brazoria and all towns that are on the west side of the Brazos. So if you're listening and you're in the Brazoria County area, or if you just want to come on out, definitely check that out and show up, become a member of the Brazoria County Library System, and help your local libraries and your local communities. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. and maybe I'll have something real neat, real fun for the next video. It's something I'm trying to do, is make history a little bit more fun for everybody. So everybody enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next time on Wednesday. Have a great one.